Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Dana here. I am back with another faux metal background technique. If you saw this card in the most recent Spellbinders release and review video, this is the video where I show you how to make this background. The set that I used is the Oxidized Aluminum from Deco Art. If you missed the first video, again, reminder, these sets have been discontinued. So if you find them and you would like them, I recommend getting them, but I will show you how to do the technique that's on the instructions in this video, and you can easily pick up the different mediums separately. They don't have to be in the set. They are sold separately. So the paints that come in the set that you'll need is a silver, a black, and a white. Pretty easy. I'm sure most of you have at least the black and the white acrylic paint already in your stash. Grab those. If you need a silver, you can do this again with craft paint, any type of paint that you have. And then you'll also need the sand medium. This is the style that comes in the set. It's in this bottle, but they do sell it in a little tub. I don't have it with me right now. But they do sell it in a little tub. And again, you could easily take like the floral sand. What I mean by floral sand is this really, really fine sand that you get in the floral department of the craft store. If you grab that and then mix it with a little Elmer's glue or some sort of liquid glue, you could get pretty much the same thing. So I'm going to be doing 4 this time just so I can show you on the same embossing folder that I used. And this embossing folder is the Stylized Latticed 3D embossing folder from Spellbinders. And then I'll be using the other Tim Holtz embossing folders that I used in the last video. The first step is to coat the background in the silver paint. This does not have to be perfect, just as long as it covers all the white. If you have some brush strokes or slight imperfections in the paint, that is totally fine. It just adds a little bit more visual texture to the end product. The thing that you want to make sure that you do is cover all of the whites. In my opinion, that does take away from the metal look of the background. And just like I did last time, I'm going to do 2 coats on all 4 of these and let them dry, and then I will come back and show you the second step. Okay, for the next step, you're going to take the sand medium or your sand mixture, and you're going to mix that in with the silver acrylic paint. And then I'm going to use the brush to apply it this time. And I'm just going to swipe in one direction. So what I like to do is kind of swipe away from me, just so I can flick it better and it flicks like off my desk versus at me. So that I'm not covered in paint. So I'm just going to take it. And it's a little warped, but that's okay. And I'm just going to flick up. And this is going to add just some texture to it. And you don't have to do it all over. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. There we go. And then I'll do the same on this one. And I think I probably mixed a little bit too much texture here, but that's all right. For this one, I'm kind of just blocking out some of those letters, just so it kind of fades into the background because of the texture. I think that'll look cool in the end. And same thing, we're just kind of brushing it on in one direction, but kind of randomly. There we go. And then I'll let that dry and I'll be back for the next step. The next step, take the black paint and then you're going to mix that with some water. And you want to thin it out quite a bit. Let's thin that out a bit more. I probably have way too much paint here, but that's okay. And then you're just going to brush that on in spots. And yes, my paint is not watery enough. When your paint is still pretty opaque, you know that you need to add a bit more water. That's a little better. Okay, so I'm just going to brush this on. I have 2 there. I'll set that aside. And you just want to get it everywhere. We're going to knock this back a little bit and wipe it down with a paper towel. But you just want to get the watered down paint pretty much everywhere. And I like to just fold up my paper towel so I have kind of a flat edge here. And that's what I'm going to use to wipe down the paper. You want to just go in and kind of brush off the high points and any spots where you think it might be too dark and you want to see the silver a bit more. There we go. I'm just going to do the same thing on this one. And you can see that paint is sitting in the low points and then wherever that texture sand paste was. Okay, I'm just going to let those dry and then we'll be back for the final step. And then the next step, take your white paint. You don't need much for this. And you're going to water that down. And then you're just going to brush it on in one direction. This is just going to kind of give it some highlight in different areas and make it look oxidized. And you can do this as much or as little as you want. It's completely up to you and the look that you're going for. Again, for this, I like to just go in one direction. I do need a bit more paint. I think I got a tad too much here, so I'm just gonna wipe it with a paper towel and just knock it back a bit. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to let those dry and I will show you the final product. And here are the final oxidized aluminum backgrounds. If you're interested in more faux metal background techniques, I do have a playlist and that will be linked below in the description box. I do have more videos like this planned, so if you're not already, do please consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification so you get notified when I post more videos. Thank you so much for joining me today, and as always, take some time to pamper your inner goddess, and I will see you in the next one.